Afternoon, guys. Today we are solving Rohan's love for matrix. So these days people even love matrix. It's a very funny problem statement, but still it's a statement, so we have to appear for it. So what it is saying is we have to first analyze the problem. Rohan has a special love for matrices, especially for the first element of the matrix. Being good at mathematics, he also loves to solve the different problems on the matrices. And one day he started to multiply the matrix with the original matrix. The elements of the original matrix are given A, which is given by the elements are these are the coordinates of the matrix. Given the power of the matrix n, we have to calculate the matrix to the power of n and return the A10 element, and mod A10 means A of 10 element. Okay, mod this value. So how are you going to do this? So basically you can see we have to take input n equals to 3, and this is nothing but the power of you can say this particular Rohan's problem. So n equals to 3 is the power. So if I open the driver code over here, I can see n equals to integer dot parseInt read line. So if I want to know what n signifies, I can write like this: n is basically the power factor. Okay, so what else is there? It is saying the output is 2. Okay, so take the cube of the original matrix. Take the cube of the original matrix, that is a to the power 4, and the a1th element is 3. Okay, so let's first, in order to solve this problem, and modulo part we have to do in the end, so don't get confused by the modulo part where mod value is given. So basically we apply modulo in order to not cross the floating point of integer. Okay, if you have seen my previous problems, I've also applied the modulo concept over there. So what basically we can do right now is very clearly we have to state the problem statement. So I am making a matrix over here which is saying a of 0 0 is 1, means the matrix is saying total number of rows and column. I have to very clearly see. So there are 4 coordinates, so there will be 2 rows and 2 columns. So a of 0 0 means this column is 1, a of 0 1 means this column is also 1, and 1 0 means 1 means the first 1 means the second row, because the row starts from 0, so that is also 1, and lastly is this. So 1 0 0 0 0 1 is this one, row and column 1. Then again our row is 1 and column is 0, so this is 1, and row and column both 1 1 is 0. So if I want to explain the size, it will be very clear to understand. Now what it is saying, given the power, so matrix of Rohan is like this, given the power. So the power of this matrix is saying, given the power of the matrix is n, power of the matrix is say n, we have to calculate a to the power of n. So given the power of, and return the a10 element. So what is the 10 element? So we have to check what is the 10 element. So 10 means this particular element. Okay, so I can write it as this 1 is equals to the a of 1 comma 0. Okay, so this basically signifying this particular position. Okay, I can put a color. No, I can't put a color over here, but I guess you understood which position I am telling. So 2 things from this problem statement we can understand. We have to do 2 things. First is our problem should have inbuilt should have methods to calculate matrix multiplication firstly. Secondly, we should know how to do the power of matrix. Okay, so let's do this. First, our criteria is this, right? So in basically I will hide my driver code right now so that this does not create me any problem. Just give me a second. Yeah, so this is the driver code. Basically driver code has one function, first element. Okay, first element. Is there a possibility I can hide the driver code again? Wait. Yeah, so I can write static int first element. I have to take a value, say long n, and in this I will do the calculation. So this kind of acts like the input method. Okay, so first I have to take a two-dimensional array. So very carefully understand why we have to take a two-dimensional array. So since it is a hard problem, you know, it's saying 2D array is needed because very clearly we can see it's a row and column is there. That means not one row, column is also there. So we are taking 2D array over here. So in case of 2D array, basically what we can do is we can write like this long of, say, matrix multiplication. Multiplication will be a long word, so multiply. This will be one method, and again we can take, say, another method which can basically be our it can basically contain the power. So matrix power, right? So in the matrix multiplication, what is going to be in our, like, to what is basically matrix multiplication? So it includes multiplication of two of two 2D arrays. So let's take the input int arr1, int arr2. So I can't take the arrays as int, I have to take it as long. Okay, and I have to also take a class solution. So I can take class solution over here, class solution, and the class solution has to end over here. So in class solution, what are the things which can be there? So firstly, there can be a static long mod equals to this particular value, which is 1 into 10 to the power of 9 plus 7. So I can copy and paste it over here and write this is our static value, right, which we are going to multiply every time. Now we are going to take before multiplying, we are going to take a resultant matrix. So we can say result, we can see this like this, long result equals to what can I take? Since this is a result, it will store the values of the matrix multiplied with each other. So it will have new long, and I have to very carefully see the total number of rows and column, because in our input there is only n equals to 3, and this n is suggesting the power value but not the total number of rows and column. So total number of rows and column, we have to assume that it has to be what? It can be 2 maximum. So I can write over here 2 rows 2 column is maximum. So once this is defined, I can run inner loop equals to 0 less than n plus plus, again an inner loop int j equals to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. Now comes again an inner loop for, so there are 3 nested loops, int k equals to 0, k less than n, k plus plus. So you can see very clearly we have we have created 3 nested loops. So the first nested loop basically will do is it will traverse through rows. So I will save my time. So I can write over here, it will traverse through columns, it will traverse through resultant array. So the resultant 2D array will be result ij. What will the resultant 2D array store? So resultant 2D array can store the matrix multiplication. So how will the matrix multiplication happen? So I can write like this, ARR1 of I into k multiplied by ARR of k into j. Okay. See, many people will ask, why are we not using very simple math.pow? What does math.pow do? It basically does the sqrt, is basically does the math.pow, basically does the to the power of particular thing. So it's like 2 comma 3, if I take to 2 to the power of 3, so it will be giving what? It will be giving 8. So it's like that. But in case of this problem, we cannot take a matrix to the power of a matrix or a matrix to the power of n. So basically we cannot practically or through any inbuilt function do this. So we have to create our own method, matrix multiply, which will basically multiply 2 matrices, n matrices in like that. Okay, so this value will store the result, and we have to given mod. So yeah, so once the result is stored, we have to check the code once we are missing out on anything. No, we have computed the result. We have to lastly we have to again do the mod value, because mod is, you can see in the problem statement, multiple times mod is being introduced. So modulus equals to result, modulus equals to mod, and this mod is nothing but the value stored over here. Okay, so we can say end of k, we can say over here end of j, we can say over here end of j, k is done, j is done, end of I, and lastly we can say what can we return? We can return the resultant matrix. So end of matrix multiplication. Now we are going to do the power. When we are doing the matrix power, we have to again take a value which will like do 2 to the power of n. So we have to take the you can see for the matrix power we have to take one array and also the like the value, power value. So I can take over here as long one array. So it should be a 2D array. So say ARR comma long n, where n denotes the power value. What is n basically? 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 4, so like this. So it is basically denoting the power value. So in matrix multiplication, our power value cannot be 0, right? So we can write it as n greater than equals to 0, and we have to calculate the power value, power function. So there is an initial array. So what is that initial array? I have to put this side by side. See, the initial array is 1001. So what is 1001? 1001 is known as an identity matrix. So if you have studied the identity matrix, you can pretty much Google it. What is an identity matrix? Whenever you're initializing initial value of a matrix, whenever you're putting like a initial value of a matrix, it has to be an identity matrix. So in case of an identity matrix, I can define an identity matrix like this: result, so long result equals to, you can take it from this code, this is the identity matrix. So yeah, long result. Now what we are doing, we are taking whether n is greater than 0. So we will first do is if n modulus 2, then in result we will multiply the matrix. So we can do like this. We can do like this very easily. We can like n modulus 2 is there, right? So which will return a remainder value 1, and we can store result equals to the matrix, the name of our function, matrix multiply. So multiply. So in matrix multiply, what basically we can do is we are going to pass, see the parameters. The parameters of matrix multiplies, there is 2 parameters, right? We have to pass the array. So one of the array is this one, ARR array, and the second array is the resultant array. So we can pass, first array is the result, comma, the second array is the ARR. Okay, so the multiplication of matrix will be done over here. In the while loop, what next is going to come? So we can put over here braces and check the power. So now comes power calculation. So in power calculation, we have to do the power, a to the power b, b to the power c, like this, right? So in power calculation, we can write it as a equals to the matrix multiply. So a to the power 2 is basically what? A into a. So whenever doing power, we can pass the values like this, matrix multiply of ARR comma ARR. What is ARR comma ARR? Is our array which the user will give, or the predefined array. Predefined array will come later on, but this is the identity matrix. Don't confuse yourself with an identity matrix. Yeah, identity matrix, why I have used initially, because if this condition doesn't fulfill, then only we will do the like the matrix multiplication in the while loop. So next is matrix multiplication will give a result. So I can write like this, return result, semicolon. So yeah, now remember I have made this thing a first method before doing this problem. This method is going to act like an input method. So in this method, basically we will store the matrix. So the matrix is 1 1 1 0. So we can store the matrix like this. Can store the matrix over here. Yeah, so this is our matrix in this particular array, and we can calculate result equals to matrix power of a to the power n, right? So we can write a comma n, where this n will be user given. So we can write over here n will be given by user. I'm writing this pointer so that you don't get confused. A is predefined matrix given in question, returns the power output. So basically what we have to return, if you see our problem statement, we have to return, where did the problem statement go? So we have to return 1 0, this particular coordinate. So I can write like this, return, whereas in the first is 1, the second is 0. So let's go through. We have end of first element method, and in the end we can write end of class. So let's compile our problem. Semicolon accepted. Result is line number 54. Yes, expect a semicolon. For will traverse through rows, cannot find symbol I equals to 0. Okay, for int I equals to 0, I less than n I cannot write, so I can have to write over here as 2, everywhere. Now it is saying error, array required but long found. So where is that error? Result plus equals to ARR1 modulus, what it is saying, variable ARR. Okay, result of ij, array required but long found. So in this result is a long. Okay, okay, everywhere I have to take a long. Remember, long result is okay, long of this particular thing is a. So if I see side by side what mistake I have done, I0 I have taken, 2 is also taken, I plus plus is also done, J0 for K, K0 to K2, result of I J plus equals to, so the first array is error1, yeah, IJ multiplied by BJ, so error2, so I have to write error2. Now let's check. Array required but long form. There is some syntax error. So the syntax error has to be resolved. The resultant is a long array, right? So in long array I am storing result. Okay, ij plus equals to a of ar. Okay, arr1 of I into k into arr2 of k into j modulus mod, and I've taken the mod value over here. Static final int mod. So modulus value static final int mod. Let's do it. Again the same thing. Line number 31, it is saying array required but long form. Is it so? What kind of problem is this? So we can check result of k plus plus k, the result of ij plus equals to into pair of 2 of k of j modulus mod. Okay, done. Result of ij mod is also done. Then 3 loops are closing. Okay, we have to return result. Static long. So in the static long matrix power, how many variables we are taking an error? Okay, long n. Result equals to curly brackets 1 0 0 1 is the identity matrix. N has to be greater than 0. Done. If the n modulus 2 equals to 1, we will store the result matrix multiply of result and the array. And once the matrix multiplication done, we will store in the array. So when we store in the array, array required but long form. So what can be the problem with your array required but long form? So in first, we are passing the a and the long n. So in n, so we basically have to take an int, right? So int n, we are passing over here, right, a comma n. So in MatrixPower is okay. I have to take it as long n only because, but since it is saying we have to check the test case even, it is saying calculate the power of n. Whether n is given as long, it is not saying, so we can take it n as long only because without long we can't do really. So compile. The same thing, array required but long form. Bad day. So a result of ij plus equals to error of 1 of ik, but long found. So let's analyze the problem. It is saying we have to pass an array, but it is saying we are passing a long found. So matrix multiplication, okay. Let's execute this one. Let's try. So MS this code, long result is equals to matrix of a comma n. Long result return results of 1 0. So where is a comma n? So a is the first array, right? So I can have to put this one over here. So the value we have to pass over here is say, so this is working, right? So the long array I've taken, yes. Long result I've taken, matrix of a comma n, yes. I've returned the result as 1 0. I've returned the result as 1 0. Then what is the problem? I have to check in the driver code what they are taking. So in the driver code, they're taking it as n. Okay. So if they are taking it as n, if they are taking this as n, I have to take this as n. So if the driver code is saying this is taking it as n, I have to take this as n. In that case, I have to take this value of thing will be also in int n, and driver code is also asking something else. You have to check. It is just taking n as the integer value. Not everything else can be different. So for n matrix multiplication, we don't need the use of n. But in case of n equals to, okay, identity matrix also done. Let's compile. What I can do is maybe I can change the data type of the array from long to int. That might help. So at long form. So the static long matrix multiply, yes, static long matrix multiply, static. Okay, maybe I missed a space. Long. Now I should try. I can do this as result and compile this. I will now make it as mint. Static int. Everything I will take it as int. So if I take everything as int, let's try. There's something with the return statement. Result power. So result of power will be a MatrixPower can't give a double dimensional array. So maybe this will work. Array required but int found. Int found. Okay. Result is a new int array which is storing So if this is the case, let's check my submission. Yeah, I want to see how I did it. So taken static final int, okay, long 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 a long b. Man, this just looks the same. Still I will do it. Mm. So this is what hard problems usually becomes when you face those hard problems. So we can in problem, yeah. So first what I've done is class solution static final int mod I've taken. So say for example I have to do this, yeah. So first I have to take is a mod value. First I have to take a mod value, right? So static final int mod, I can take it as capital MOD. Okay. Static long, I will again change it to long. Matrix multiply long two arrays. Okay. Long array 1, long array 2, long result. Okay, long result equals to new long. Okay. I0, I2, J plus plus K0, K plus plus. Result of Ij plus equals to A of Ik plus into B array of 2 of Kj modulus mod. Since this is mod, this has to be also mod. Result of Ij percentage equals to, okay, then 3 looks are closed, then we are returning result when closing the matrix. Static long matrix power, static long matrix power int arr. So two arrays, one array, long arr and a long n. Long result equals to 1001. Okay, while n greater than 0, if n modulus 2 equals to 1, we are pushing result equal matrix result comma arr. This is the arr. Arr equals to matrix multiply arr comma arr. Forgot to update the decrease the counter by 2, n by equals to 2. Return result static long first element. Again I messed up. This was the simple thing I messed up. Int 10. Okay, long of array, we have to take a long array, we have to take long of result, long result which will store matrix of a comma n, and initially it will give array required but long found. I really want to know what is the problem I have written in that particular line, because it is taking me a lot of time. Array required but long found. Static long matrix, okay, long result, okay, new long is correct, j k is also correct. Ij plus equals to first bracket arr of arr 1 of I into k into b, b is arr 2. This is also one simple mistake took my whole life. So yeah, never mind. Now what it is saying, long cannot be converted to long result. So this long is like a stupid thing. I couldn't go to gym because I'm stuck with this problem. So it's saying long return result. So long result equals to new long 2 comma 2. Okay, long it will result, of course, long it will result new long 2 2. Matrix multiply is also correct. Long arr 1 and long arr 2. Long arr 1, long arr 2 are two arrays. Okay, long result equals to new long is also done. For I 0, I less than 2, I plus plus j 0, j less than 2 plus plus k 0, 2 plus plus k plus plus. Result of ij plus equals to error of ij. This is the bracketing is also closed properly. Percentage mod. Result of ij percentage equals to mod 3 result. Then what is the problem? Let's check matrix power function now. Matrix power function, static long matrix power long result. Okay, and okay, compile. It took me a lot of time to do it. So yeah, our code is successfully compiled and we will submit this. So this was all about today's problem statement. I hope you could understand the problem statement. You can pause it and see the problem statement in the end. Thank you for being so patient. Thank you so much.